I often wonder what would happen if Judaism was an easy faith and tradition. If I could just have all the answers laid out in front of me, if I could easily follow all the laws and believe in a kind of God beyond myself who wrote the Torah and always made my path clear. But it's not so easy. Now, there are many ways of being Jewish and many labels that we might give ourselves about how we believe and how we connect with our tradition. And of course, we need to honor the diversity found in our Jewish world and know that there are many ways to be Jewish and connect to Jewish community. But I truly believe that Reconstructionism offers something wholly unique and powerful, something deeply rooted in tradition, but also something that consciously confronts the challenges of our modern world. So let's start with this. Being a Reconstructionist takes work and also demands us asking many questions and exploring our own beliefs and needs and passions. But it also involves letting go of some of the baggage we might have been carrying around with us throughout our Jewish journeys. For many Orthodox Jews, at least in some way, the answers and the whys and hows of being Jewish are a bit more clear. And this can be very comforting. Go to your rabbi with a question and you'll get an answer. You know when to daven, when to pray, what words to say, and what to do if you forget what to say. You know what you can eat, what you cannot. You know what the rules are of Shabbat and live them, hopefully, with intention and commitment. All of this can and should be a beautiful and very rewarding way to live. But while orderly and structured, it's not the only way, and it is not necessarily the best choice for everyone. Reconstructionism is not as structured, and everything is not as clear. We too have answers to questions, but our answers might not be the same answers and the same questions of a previous generation. Just think, how would our great-grandparents define their connection with Judaism and Jewish community? Is it the same as ours? If not, then our Judaism shouldn't be the same either. We are always reevaluating and rethinking, starting with the deep and powerful sources of our tradition and reconstructing them to make sure that they're meaningful and relevant for today. Because of this, being Reconstructionist Jews sometimes takes a bit more work. It's wonderfully challenging, deeply engaging, and above all, accepts the reality of the world that we encounter each day. And that's why it works. Reconstructionism defines Judaism as an evolving civilization. While the traditional Jewish belief might be that there's been little change in Jewish practice since the Torah and the rabbis of the Talmud wrote down the oral Torah, this is simply not true, and it's never been true. There's always been constant change and influence from within our own community and from other cultures and faiths. Think of the Passover Seder, the traditional Hasidic garb, or even challah and dreidels. All of these are rooted in non-Jewish practices. Now you can think, even in Orthodox synagogues, girls can have bat mitzvahs. Did you know, by the way, that the first bat mitzvah in North America was Mordechai Kaplan's own daughter, and the first in Canada was right here at Dorshei Emet? Now, we've always been changing, and in a way, Reconstructionists work to honor this truth closer than many other ways of practicing Judaism. We don't put up walls because there never needed to be walls. We are inclusive because Judaism has always had a place for being inclusive, and at least in some way, welcoming different ways of thinking and being. We support and honor different ways of imagining God and faith because our tradition has given us the space to do this. Now, this may be a bit chutzpahdik to say, but here it goes. What is traditional Judaism in the modern world? You're looking at it. It doesn't matter how you define yourself, whether you're religious, secular, Orthodox, agnostic, anything in between. And while it's great to say what you don't believe in, Reconstructionists asks us to search even more for what you do. What do you believe in and how you live in this world? And as we'll get to in a later week, what matters more even than belief is what you can do to find a sense of belonging. I'll see you next week.